Nice. Oh, hi,
Oh,
Mark.
oh, I love, you know what? It's always a good day if you can channel Tommy Wiseau. Like,
I
I'm sorry,
know.
I, it's never going to get old. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm actually sorry, not sorry, Mark. I just think it's hysterical. I just like I can even hear his voice in my head when I type it. Like, I'm
I
just,
know.
I,
I do too. And then I was laughing because I'm like, everyone oh hi marked him.
I know it's just like it's like perfect. But yeah, Mark is a good sport. I love that about you, Mark Caesar. I absolutely love that about you.
I've never wanted my name to be Mark more.
I know, like I'm like I need more marks. Like, oh hi, Mark, or like from now on, maybe it should be like oh hi, Mark JuJu Bee, and oh hi, Mark Mousy, and oh hi, Mark Anna. Like, don't be surprised, people, if I just give you a new name.
We're going to abuse it, everyone. That's what we're saying.
Yep. Yes. And Mark, you can just hold that in your imagination that every time Juju and I are saying that, we're talking to you, dude. Like we're talking to you. Like,
Yep.
but we're talking to you as Tommy Wiseau, so that could be a little creepy. You know, I just like that guy's voice. Like I just like
Next week, I have my hair colored to like black and just
okay.
greasy.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, as long as oh god. Now this is not fair. Don't say that. You start talking about his hair, and immediately my head went to those awful scenes from the movie that we had to watch twice because they couldn't even reshot it again. Like, you know what I'm talking about. It was
I
just
do know.
I mean, I've never seen anything is this unattractively like weird. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Tommy, but nope. Nope. Yeah. No, he's like an enigma. He's forever going to be stuck in my head. But very funny.
I
And it's
do wonder what he's like in private. I bet he's totally different.
can you what if he talks like exactly? I don't think he's totally different. Like I read the book. Did you read the book? I read the book.
I didn't read the book.
If anything, he's edgier and meaner, but I mean, he's pretty much the same. Like he gets an idea, and there's like you're like, wow, that's like a crazy idea, but not to him. It's like the best idea ever, and mm, seems
I mean, good. That's a great quality to have, though.
it can be very successful. I would imagine that a lot of very successful people are like that. Like you can't tell them nothing. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? Um, and in a way, that can be a very happy existence, you know, without any outside interference. Um, Pretty much impossible in today's day and age, I think, but I think it could be you know, could be a good thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Mippet's saying you should put the banner up.
I know. I just pushed a button.
Without the chat here, we'd be nothing.
I know. Yep.
We're lucky we got the avatars on the screen.
Yes, like it's true, and it's like it's good I don't change them all the time or anything like that. I would lose it, you know.
Do you know I've done that before? Like started a stream and did not add myself to it. Just hanging out backstage.
And well, who were they talking to?
Each other.
Oh, so they just were like in the chat talking, just like waiting. Like how? Wait, now I got to know how long did that go on? Like how long?
Not very long. Like I figured it out. I'm sure someone in chat told me, or I looked at my screen and was like, "Why is nothing on the screen?" But I've also like been muted at the start for a fairly long time.
Mm-hmm.
Unmuted. Turned out my microphone was not plugged in.
So it was like you were talking, but you didn't. Nobody heard anything.
Yeah, and I'm just rambling away up here, and everyone in chat is like, "You are muted. We cannot hear you." And I'm like, "No, I unmuted, guys." And then I'm like, "Or I didn't plug in the microphone." So we'll get there.
It can be. First of all, you know I've got a terrible fear of dead air. Like it's from the beginning. It was like put into my head like that's the worst thing to happen on YouTube. Like I've just so many people talked to me about it. Like before I started my channel, and I have a thing about it. Like it's just like I don't think there's anything wrong with quiet. Or
well, I get it. Because if
like
you're listening and not watching the stream, you know, like this is a perfect stream to like turn on and like go make dinner. You know, not to watch or anything.
Yeah.
If there's dead air, you can turn around and be like, "Oh, that stopped playing," or something going on. But I'm like, dead air is a part of life.
Yeah, it's true. It's just not a good thing on YouTube. Like, yeah, it's just. I mean, I know it's part of life.
Forget it. We make our own rules.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Like, oh hi, Mark Mippet. Oh hi, Mark Mippet. Oh hi, Mark JuJu. Yeah. We just amuse ourselves. I mean, you know what? If you can't amuse yourself, like that's the thing is like, you know, yes, there are many things in this world that amuse me. Many people, many things. Like I do have a good time. I have no problem, you know, laughing and having a good time. But I have to say, I do go out of the way sometimes just to amuse myself.
Amusing myself is my whole goal. And then I'm like, if someone comes along, fantastic. But I'm just trying to make myself laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, this is true. That's a very good suggestion there. It's always a good idea to keep an eye on chat to know whether anything is going wrong. That's right, because usually someone will tell me right away if my sound is too loud, if I'm coming in and out, like breaking up or like it muted. Like I don't have too much trouble with the muted thing, you know. You mean amuse myself, Mark? Well, that depends. I mean, you know, hey, that depends. That depends. You know. Well, I knew somebody was going to go there. I wasn't sure it was going to be you, Mark, but I knew somebody was going to go there. Okay.
Someone always does.
Yeah. Ah, look, Mousy says she embraced the nothing this week. So much that I just checked out all week. I hope you felt good about it though. Like sometimes that can be so energizing and refreshing. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing this weekend. I am pumped for Thanksgiving.
Are you?
Yep.
Really? You making a whole dinner thing?
Nope.
You going somewhere?
Nope. Thanksgiving is not, I don't like that meal. Not a fan of it.
No.
So,
are you a turkey hater? Wait.
I'm a turkey hater.
I am one that like I like to bust up tradition. Like so but I do like the turkey. Like
I have a sordid history with Thanksgiving. Yeah. And yeah, now I just don't. took me a long time to like be able to get out of obligations and just be like, hey, I'm staying home and I'm not eating that meal. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so you're not going anywhere and you're not making a turkey.
Yep.
That's cool.
I think I might make a steak.
Well, I think that's pretty cool. Like, I think you should make whatever you want. And I hate Hallmark holidays anyway. You know that, right? Like, if they got a greeting card out for it,
You're like, no, thank you.
I'm like, no, thank you. Exactly. And so I don't like this forced togetherness, this forced, you got to do all this stuff, like, putting these parameters on it. It's got to be like this. It's got to be like that. Like, you know, I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, you may have just like, here's the thing. You may have just had an argument with like half your family on Monday and you're supposed to sit on Thursday and eat a meal with them. Like, come on. Really?
Well, and it's very frustrating because people put the meal prep on like one or two people and then they aren't cleaning up because I'm like, hey, everyone, like these people cooked for us. Let's clean this place up. Let's do every dish. And people are just like, we're tired. We just ate a huge meal. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
And Mark Caesar is correct.
You have to know how to cook it, right? Is that the one? Yeah. This is true because like I need really crispy skin, but I need really juicy turkey. Like it's a battle. It's totally a battle. Yep.
Yeah, my family was never good at cooking the turkey. It was never done on time.
Mm.
And you were not allowed to eat anything else because they're like, no, we're making this big meal. So, it was like, we're going to eat at 1, 3, 7, 10.
1, 3, 7, 10. Exactly.
And you're like, I'm so hungry. Please let me have some food.
Like, and you got to smell turkey all day. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, but the turkey would never cook.
My daughter was pregnant at that time, Thanksgiving time, and we were roasting a turkey. And I got to tell you that by the end of the day, she was ready to kill us. The smell of turkey just like now just makes her want to puke. Like that was it. And the other thing is, why do people like, you go to someone's place for Thanksgiving, or even when I would have Thanksgiving for a few people over, family, whatnot. Never the whole family, because that's like 40 people. It's bad enough we did that once a year for Christmas, but never like for Thanksgiving. But you put out all the crudite and the snacks and stuff like that. Everybody's eating the whole time. And then you wonder why they can't finish their plate and you made that whole big meal.
Yes.
You put it out, cheese and crackers and little fruit things, and there's hors d'oeuvres and there's little snackies. And because you feel like, because they're waiting for the turkey to cook, like you got to keep them fed. So here you feed them the whole damn time and then have the nerve to say, what? You're not having seconds? Like,
see, my family did not feed you the whole time. They were like, yeah, sorry, we're incorrect on when the meal will be ready.
Well, yeah, that's happened. Like,
and it would be like 8 or 10 hours later, and you're like, please.
I remember, listen, I don't want to say, like, I love my mom. I don't want to say anything negative. I just, like, treasure all my memories of her. But there is one that is quite hysterical, to where we waited hours, like you said, for the turkey. Okay. And she was not one to put out the snacks. Okay. So we're waiting hours and hours and hours. And when she pulled out that turkey, okay, she was waiting for like one of those poppers. You know how some of them put the popper in it? So she does, she admitted she's not really, she's going to go buy the popper because, that's supposed to be the newest invention to save time and make the perfect turkey, right? It's supposed to let you know. So she's waiting on the damn popper. She pulls that turkey out, and I kid you not, when she went to touch the turkey, like, it was pretty crispy. Okay. It wasn't burnt, but it was like nice crispy skin, right? And she went and touched that turkey and the whole thing collapsed.
Oh no.
They couldn't even slice the turkey. That was the sorriest ass dried turkey. Like, when I tell you it looked like the turkey had been sitting out for days, like, that's how it came out of the oven.
Maybe we're related because
then you got mom's cooking skills and I didn't. Yes, okay. Well, that's a good trait for me. Because, like, and she was just going by the popper, and talking with everybody and then checking the popper every once in a while, But man, that thing, it literally collapsed. That was like some dry turkey.
Did she not baste it? Don't you have to like pull it out every once in a while and baste it?
Here's my thing about basting. All basting does is give you a good crispy skin, which actually basting keeps it from getting like that. I it, it tell me how the basting gets through the skin, Juju, and does anything for the meat. The
Well,
base
and it cools off the oven enough that
exactly what it is that's how you keep people busy during Thanksgiving when they're making a turkey, like giving them a job to do. Because like I do not the only thing that does anything to the meat is injection, right? Injection. Like
yeah, but even injection just is like right where it's injected.
exactly. And then you know what really keeps the turkey moist? The slow release of the fat from under the skin into the breast while it's cooking. Okay. So
All
like the
right.
fat under the skin, okay? Because you're basting the skin, right? Okay. The skin is already getting cooked, so it's like not as porous. It's
Well, do
not
you
getting through.
cover the turkey at first? Like cover it with foil?
Sure, but you still can't baste through the skin, boo boo. Like
Well, I don't know. I don't make turkey.
I'm just saying, it never made sense to me. I'll probably
Hmm.
have a million DMs about this with these great turkey cooking aficionados. Like, and listen, I don't care. You're gonna have to prove to me the science of how that baste is getting through that skin before I'm even having the conversation. So let's
Yes,
just
some
have the
people are serious about their turkeys.
yes, they are totally serious. And yes, thank you, Mark. Like Mark's like, and you're welcome. Because
Mhm.
brought up the turkey, and here we go. Like,
Yeah, I'm
pitched
thinking of breasts now.
hey, he pitched it and it connected. What can I say?
He's like, you know what I want in my mouth?
Mm. But I do
So,
like a good turkey. I like a turkey club with bacon and avocado. Like that's a good sandwich. I like that.
me too, but up it a little. I like peppers on there.
Oh yeah. You can always change it around for me. Like I like that. I don't like things the same like all the time.
The Albuquerque turkey. That's a fantastic sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, what's it? What is in an Albuquerque? Explain.
I think it's turkey, bacon, avocado, um, red peppers,
Mm-hmm. Roasted.
roasted.
Oh, you're speaking my language here.
I do not
That's
recall what else is on.
okay. So I guess my version is just without the peppers. So I'm pretty close to Albuquerque. Who knew?
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
it's there. It's so good. There's a little deli by my house where if you get a whole one, they make it on homemade bread too. You can only eat half the sandwich, and you're sad because you can only eat half of it. But then you
Mm-hmm.
eat the other half for dinner, and you're
Mm-hmm. You
happy
just
again.
yeah, and then you're happy again. Exactly. Sometimes I get sad. There's not anybody to eat the other half of the sandwich. Like this just happened to me the other day. I was talking to someone on the phone, and I was like, "I wish you were here because you could eat the other half of this sandwich." And it happened to be, as a matter of fact, a turkey, avocado, and bacon sandwich. And I was like,
Really?
"Yeah," and I was just having that for dinner because I was making something for myself, which I very rarely do anymore. But I didn't want to cook, so I just made a decent sandwich, and not, it was good roast turkey, you know. Well, I made a sandwich, and then I'm like, oh, I wish you were here to eat this other half a sandwich because, like, what am I going to do with this other half a sandwich? But you're right. I just wrapped it a little bit, and about 3 or 4 hours later, I went and ate the other half sandwich.
Yeah. And well, and when you eat the first half, you're like, I'm so full.
I,
Like,
I could never eat another bite, and then you're like, where is that half a sandwich? What I do
yeah.
with it? Like, yeah. Yeah, I listen. I'm not one of those women who will like say I don't have an appetite or anything like that. I like my food. I'm
Me
not like
too.
I have to do things to not be 600 pounds because I like my food. I like to cook well. I don't believe in skimping one ingredient. Like, yes, there's a thing about making things like healthier for you and all. And yes, I can do that too. But I'm on both sides of the argument on that one. I like full fat everything, but I know how to make it healthier for you if you're going to be eating it every day. But for like, you know, special meals and things like that. Like I want what I want. Like I like ice
Yeah.
cream. Like I like my ice cream.
Oh my gosh, I got ice cream for later and I'm so excited. Let's end
Did
this
you?
stream now and I'll go eat it.
No, really? Like okay. She ditching me for ice cream. What flavor? Now I got to know because I could talk some ice cream. When you
Well, I got a blizzard.
Oh well, that's good. What's the mix-ins? That's the one with all the stuff mixed in.
Butterfinger.
Oh, I like that because that's toffee, right? Toffee and chocolate. I like that. It's crunch. It's like butter crunch,
Yep.
butter toffee crunch. Oh yeah, I like that.
I haven't had
Um,
one in forever. It was a real split moment decision
yeah.
because I was like, oh, I wish I had ice cream. And then
Uh,
could see a Dairy Queen in the distance, and I was like, you're about to have some ice cream.
oh my. You know what? When you hear, you're gonna like everybody's gonna you ready to tilt your heads, people, because I'll tell you the ice cream that I'm looking forward to eating.
Butter pecan,
No.
goat cheese fig.
Very close because that is one of my favorites. Like my absolute favorite is goat cheese balsamic strawberry drizzle. Like that is like to die for. But they came out with goat cheese cranberry, the creamery this week. You listen very well and have a great memory, as a matter of fact, because that is not a mass marketed flavor. That comes from the creamery, like in Fairhaven. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, you listen really well. But yeah, it's my favorite. Well, I love the goat cheese based ice cream. It's like tangy and it's still rich, like full cream. Like they make it with full cream. It's like real old fashioned creamery ice cream. You know how like you used to go to the corner creamery, not like
I used to
anything.
work at a corner creamery.
All right, so you know, like there's just it's a very good, rich, old fashioned. Like can't really get it in a container in the supermarket. As much as Haagen Dazs and Ben and Jerry and everybody tries, they can't. They just can't.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
something. Yeah, they can't touch it
they
because they
can't
have
touch
to
it.
make it to like last a long time in the freezer.
They do, and it's all those things that they add to keep it like you know creamy, so to speak, and stuff like that. But in a creamery, it's just what it is. It's like you made it.
Man, I
Yeah,
do
you,
love
you
ice
know
cream.
what, Mark, you do. This is like when I'm talking about the creamery, it's the name of a small mom and pop single store that only sells ice cream. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong message. He was asking me about the ice cream, and I pull up the turkey. What's wrong with you, girl? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. And it's called the Creamery, and it's here on the East Coast. And they just make specialty flavors. Like I've actually had cantaloupe ice cream because they made it like from cantaloupes. They use like whatever's fresh, and they try to turn it into these odd, unique flavors. Um.
The one where I worked made even chocolate chip and mint chocolate chip. They put molasses chips in there,
Oh,
tiny molasses chips. They were so good.
it must have really enhanced the flavor. You see, that's what I like. Like they're taking chances, but some of their chances are like big fails because they also sell Thanksgiving ice cream, Mark Caesar, and it does have gravy,
Nope.
stuffing, and cranberries in it. Okay. And I'm like, and they use like this, their vanilla is not like their base is like a creamy, not much vanilla. Like it doesn't have a lot of vanilla bean in it. It's just like a basic creamy.
Like pretty
And
neutral.
a pretty neutral base, but it's really creamy and rich. And they use that base and make all of like these flavors. And just the Thanksgiving one wasn't really that great. However, their Christmas figgy pudding one was off the chart
Well, that does
because
sound good.
it had figgy pudding in it, including the toffee. Like it really, they made a plum pudding like you would a figgy plum pudding for Christmas. This is an English thing, Juju. I think you hear it in all the songs and like,
Yeah.
all the books.
Bring us the figgy pudding.
Right. So it's kind of ginger. You can make it with like a gingerbread and stuff like that. But it had that in it and toffee, and it had the fruit. It had some like cherries and cranberries and things like that, fallish like fruits. And that one was delicious. Not so much Thanksgiving, you know, but they also make like pumpkin pie
Do they do a
ice cream.
cinnamon ice cream?
They absolutely do a cinnamon ice cream.
Man, that cinnamon ice cream is tasty.
It's tasty. I like pumpkin ice cream too. And like I absolutely adore it. This time of year, I have to have it at least once or twice. I absolutely love it. A good one though. And my pumpkin has ice cream that I like the most. Has a lot of cinnamon, a lot of the flavors of pumpkin pie.
You know what else? Creamery ice cream has a different texture. It's like smoother.
It is. It's the no ice quality of it. It's not meant to be stored long time. And you notice it changes in the freezer. Like if you don't eat it like soon,
Yes.
it gets a little ice. It gets like it changes and it's not as pleasant. So there's a thing. It's the reason these are small shops, and it's craft ice cream. It's like small,
Well, and it's expensive. Like you go
it
there
is.
for
Hmm.
a reason.
There,
Although we make like an ice cream pie. Well, there's an ice cream cake my family makes.
hmm
So we would go get the good ice cream for it.
yeah, I would let them make it for me, and because I just like I could just see me messing it up, like
Well, one of them is just this was like always my birthday cake. It was cinnamon ice cream, coffee ice cream, chocolate ice cream.
that sounds so good.
You put it in a springform pan.
Yeah.
Then you put toasted almonds on top, drizzle a little.
What's the crust on the bottom? What did you crush up to put on the bottom? And what's between the layers?
There's nothing between the layers, but you could do
No?
whatever crust you so choose. Just depending on the year. Digestive biscuits, very good as a crust.
Oh, you know what I would use? Really good ginger snaps.
Um, Fantastic as a crush or a
And
crust.
and doesn't that go well with cinnamon and with
Yes.
coffee and with chocolate? Like I'm there. I
Well,
just
and you
yeah.
drizzle a little amaretto over it.
Oh, oh God. Okay. When am I all right. Just, send me the map, girl. Like, what is it gonna be? Like 7, 8 hours? Get working. You better get your ass to the store. I
Yep.
need I
Well, my
need
mom
people.
used to make. I think she made up the whole recipe, but then my birthday is in the summer, and she always had trouble finding the cinnamon ice cream, so she had to make it herself.
I love, I did try to make that. I couldn't find, like, I didn't have the money for a really good ice cream maker. I know they're out there. I just didn't. I got one of those that like makes it in a little while, and it, makes a loud noise while it's spinning it. And it,
Yeah, we used to
and it,
do that. Like that's
yeah.
what we always had.
Mm. Do you,
Coffee
yeah.
ice cream is so good. You're right, Anna.
Yeah, I do enjoy coffee ice cream. I do like it. And it does give me a buzz. I'm sorry. It's just like the whole thing. It does. And Mark, poutine, I will talk to them. I'll say, have you ever thought about poutine ice cream? And if they make it, I will show it to you. If they make it, I will go and take a picture
We
and
want a
send it to
picture
you.
on the community tab of that poutine ice cream.
Because what's that got? French fries and gravy and cheese curds. I'm thinking they're crazy enough they'd be interested in that. I know, Anna, it happens. You can't talk about ice cream and not want to go have ice cream. And it's cold here on the East Coast. And
It's chilly here too, but I was like ice cream.
I don't think I'm having dinner tonight. I often will, if I don't really feel up to eating, I will have ice cream for dinner.
I
And that's
support it.
fine with me.
You know, one of the best ways to eat ice cream. Let's discuss this.
Hmm.
Um,
We
Make
were.
a waffle,
Oh, God. Here we go.
put
I,
butter pecan ice cream on it,
mm,
little maple syrup. That's it.
mm.
That's how my
Listen,
granddad served it to me growing
I
up.
It's one of the best things. First of all, I love to make homemade waffles. I'm weird. I know it's a lot of work. I'm even one of
It's
those
not that
people.
much work though.
Well, it is like my way. My secret to fluffy pancakes, and I like fluffy. So, like, I like crispy on the outside and fluffy pancakes and waffles is when you separate the eggs. No matter how many eggs it tells you to put in it, you put those yolks in it when it says, but then you fold in those nicely beaten egg whites. You go and whip them up, get them all nice and airy, and you fold them into the batter at the end, and then all the air is in the batter, and then you get the fluffiest, nicest little waffles and pancakes, like anything like that, like any kind of griddle cake that you're making with eggs, like
Okay,
that's
well, I was thinking about making pancakes on Thanksgiving.
what I
So maybe
think
I'll
you
try that.
try it. It's worth beating it. You get a little bit of an exercise, like beating your egg whites and everything, but then you just fold them in, and the flavor is all the same, and it's delicious and everything. But it does add that airy. You know how you wonder how they get them so crispy on the outside and airy on the inside? Like, how
Yeah.
do they do that? Well, eggs when they combine, it's actually science, because when the yolk and the white actually combines, it's like a different thing. And when you separate them, you get to use the best quality of both of them, the richness of the egg yolk for the batter, and then the lightness of the egg white with all the air and the fluff, like you're using the egg to its best components, like for the recipe, actually. And it just works so well with them. But I love to make ice cream sandwiches with warm waffles for the, I mean, that's how I spoil grandkids and my daughter and the
It
men.
must be a grandparent thing because that my granddad was the one who taught me that. Put
Didn't
ice cream on your waffles.
No, put the ice cream on your waffles. And I do love to spoil my partner with the waffles and pancakes. Like I have no problem getting up and making those even on a work day, because the smell in the house and just the smile on the face, there's just something about pancakes and waffles that it's hard to not smile when you smell them or see them to eat
Yes,
them.
and with a good cup of coffee, like just black coffee with like a syrupy pancake slash waffle,
Yeah.
so good.
You know, Mark, you're right, because I absolutely love tiramisu, and I make a tiramisu that is to die for. I like the things that I like, I learned to make, and mine does have the shaved chocolate and everything and the soaked ladyfinger biscuits. Like the only thing I don't make all the time is the ladyfinger biscuits that you use, but I do know how to make them too. But it's just too lazy sometimes to actually do that when I could buy a packet of them,
I
you
know
know.
I do that
Yeah.
too. I'm like,
Um,
mine aren't better enough for me to like put the
mhm.
time in on this.
Really strong espresso or Turkish coffee. Like I love tiramisu. I'm also a big creme brulee lover. I love that cracked caramel on the top of that creamy
Do you know I've
vanilla
never had
frosting.
creme brulee?
Oh my god, it's like, you know, I a meal could be horrible, and if they give me creme brulee for dessert, I forget all about it. I will give them all the grace in the world, you know. And I'm telling you, I know. Like, Record is in the chat, is drooling. Like, people are drooling in the
Well, and then I have a fantasy
chat.
of moving next door to Anna. Did you see that? I make
Oh my
waffles,
god,
artisan vanilla ice cream, and fresh strawberry.
I love this. I love this.
And
And
Anna always posts the best food pics in Discord.
she,
I'm like,
yes, Anna is a foodie. Like, you know what? So many of us just love our food, and that's a good thing. I mean, you have to eat. Here's my thing. You have to eat every day to survive. you know and so I want it to be the best. I don't want to just survive. Like, I want to live. My food choices are all about living my best life. It's the only thing I can control, like what goes in my mouth. Like, you know what I mean, what I cook, what I do, how pretty the plate is. It's like a whole thing with me.
what
It's
color are your plates?
which set, boo. My everyday set. Okay, first I have to tell like a little TMI here. I'm I drop things a lot. So my everyday set is like a Corel set that doesn't break, like it
Those
bounces.
don't break, and it is
Okay.
fascinating.
And I have the pretty ones with the orange, because I love orange and green. So yes, okay. And it kind of sits and they sit out in the china cabinet, like right there, everyday use. The mugs, the plates, the bowls, all of that. But then my other set for entertaining is like restaurant heavy white. And they're ovals and oblongs and odd shapes. They're not they're not just a regular dinner plate looking thing.
You know what? Everyone here, I need your help.
Hmm.
Speaking of plates, my plates are all white because same. It looks
Yep.
fancy.
Yeah,
Food looks good on it.
because you can change the plate to the room. It depends on what you're making it for. I use the odd shapes because then they're more universal. It's not just a dinner plate. It could be a serving plate. I could make an hors d'oeuvre on it. You know what I mean? Like, I like the oblong ones, the oval ones, rectangular. I've got hexagon, like
Well, and
all of them.
sometimes I put candles on those dishes
Yeah.
too.
My favorite every day is the low bowl, the low large bowl. It's like a what, an inch and a half high, like not a cereal bowl, but it's a bowl, right? And it's like a plate bowl. Do you know what I'm talking
See,
about?
that's what I need. I don't like my bowls.
I
They're
like the plate
too
bowl. I like the
small.
plate. I like the plate bowl because it's as big as a dinner plate and it's got sides. Okay. Well, it's not like a huge dinner plate. It's like an average dinner plate and it's got sides. And that's probably the one. That's the one I will actually load that bowl up with, like the meat and the side and the veggies, and serve it that way, because I can make a very pretty bowl for eating a meal. And these are casual meals, like your everyday dinner and lunch. Like, say it was just me and partner, you know. Mhm. What?
I was laughing at Icarus. I don't like my balls.
No, bowls.
I know. And I was like, is that my accent?
I
I
like
don't like
my
my bowls.
I don't know. I like my balls very much. Like what? Chris. Oh, so hey, Mrs. Cassandra, I see you came in. I'm sorry I didn't get to shout you soon. And yeah, I did mention your name, Wrecker. I see you came in too. Nice to see you. Teresa, nice to see you too. So people are popping in, and I'm just like, I'm sorry I'm being remiss because I got so caught up in the ice cream. And
I
then the
know.
food, and now the food. Wait a minute, what is this, Mark? Okay,
That's
I
all we talk about here. We're like food guys.
Mark's kind of caught my eye on something he said earlier, and I just what? Oh, I can't find it in the comments to post it, but apparently the pickup line for me is I make the absolute best pancakes for breakfast. How many would you like? That I could say that. You mean me saying that to someone? I think that would work. You think that would work? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it'd definitely be a check in the yes column.
I would say that I have said this before. The ex's new girlfriends and wives actually, they try to contact me for my recipes. Apparently, they still talk about my food. They don't want to be with me, but they damn well want to get with my food.
You know their exes are their new loves are irritating.
Oh,
They're
Mark
like,
said.
stop talking about her food.
Mark said, no, that's him saying it to me. Okay, so you mean that's the pickup line? Like you're going to say to me, hey, I make the absolute best pancakes. Like, how many do you want? That might work. Like, because all you're really offering me is
Mark
breakfast.
Caesar, go open your front door.
Yeah, because like I could just see me being like, this is the kind of bee I am, Mark. Like, I'll take you up on that. And we're going to stay up all night somewhere talking and everything. And then you're going to make me breakfast and drive me home. But that's about it. So it's a great pickup line. It could start a conversation, and I think it's great. Like, yes, dangle those pancakes, especially if you're really good at making them. Like, go forth with your strong points. Like, yes, the important part, right, Juju, is having that conversation. Like, get that started with the conversation. That's a great. I think that's a great one.
That
I
is a
do.
good one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
I
do.
would keep talking to you if you approached me with that line.
Oh, Wrecker says he's contesting the greatest pancakes. So it's not me and it's not Mark, it's Wrecker. Wrecker says because his are an inch thick minimum. He does make really big pancakes. And that is an art in itself. And I love those because
Isn't that just a cake then?
well, it is called a pancake. Like, so but do Americans love Hungry Jacks? Americans love those big ass pancakes like that. You know it. You know it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be very popular here, Wrecker. If you used Mark's line on me, I would eat that pancake.
Maybe you make veggie pancakes? Tell me more.
Oh, are they the ones with the grated vegetables in them? I like those. Have you ever had that?
No, but I'm intrigued because I watch a homesteader on YouTube and she makes oatmeal and she'll put zucchini or carrots in it.
You know what? I do like using shredded vegetables for all kinds of things like that. I do like upping the nutrition. And if I was making pancakes for lunch, I would do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Although I will say that I have been taken to task by a few men in my life for doing it. Like, what did you do to the pancakes? Can't you leave the pancakes? Just make a pancake. Like, yeah, no.
Well, I used to date a man, a grown man, mind you, who was like, I don't eat anything green.
I
And I'm
love
like,
that. I love to prove them wrong. I just love okay, because I'm that bee. All right. I'm confessing to being the bee
you and me
so much.
both. I'm
Listen,
like,
I make a chocolate brownie that's got beet puree and spinach puree in it that you can't find, see, or taste, and you'd be eating green and pooping spinach before you know it, dude. Like, that would be it. You'd be begging me for those brownies. Like, I love people who say that. I don't eat vegetables. I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, let me rock your world.
well, it was like a big thing where I'm like, come on. Like, there's not
Really?
one vegetable you'll eat. He was just a large child. So, yeah, I did the same thing. I veggie loaded everything.
Uh, Mippy said her pancakes are spuds, carrots, and peas. I could see that. I love that. Yeah. Yep.
Swedish
And
pancakes are amazing. I agree.
aren't they very thin? Are they really a pancake? Like I always go through these like Swedish pancakes. Are they a crepe or are they a pancake? They're the in between, right? They're like in the middle there, aren't
They're
they?
the like I messed up my pancake or I messed up my crepe.
Or I tried to make a crepe and it turned into a Swedish pancake.
Yeah.
Yes. Or like my batter's too thin. I don't have pancakes here. I've got Swedish pancakes. And yeah, they're I still won't call them a crepe. Yeah.
Man, now I really
Oh,
do want pancakes.
Mark, it's true. It works really well as a binder, especially if you're trying to like up the nutrition in, all these recipes when people were going like low fat, low sugar. Beets are fantastic. They're a natural sugar. They're a great emulsifier. They add moisture. The other thing you can do is add cranberry sauce, like whole berry cranberry sauce.
I use pumpkin. Just
Pumpkin is
plain pumpkin.
fantastic. Yes. I make a pumpkin chocolate caramel brownie.
Okay, but when you
Mm.
put the pumpkin in the chocolate cake, you can't taste that it's pumpkin.
No, you can't when it's chocolate, but that's why I do a swirl with just a pumpkin ribbon too. Like it's in the chocolate, right? But then I do this little you know how you could swirl into brownies,
Yeah.
So I make with the pumpkin puree with a little bit of the flour and everything without the chocolate in it and a little bit of egg, and then I swirl that in. So it's got like this orangey little swirl in it, and then I just make the caramel topping for the top. Mm. It's really good. Like, okay, you make me the ice cream cake, and I will come make some veggie pancakes. Like, we got a whole meal going here now. We're gonna have to
I
invite
love
more.
it.
We're gonna have to invite more people to eat.
I vote we take this show on the road and we just stop at anyone's house and chat that would have us
Mm-hmm.
and we all make a meal together.
Wouldn't that be like the funniest? Like, I think they do that on the Food Channel. Do you remember the Food Channel? Years ago, I used to watch the Food Channel.
Yeah.
And like I mean, wasn't Mario going all over the world eating Italian food? And I know Jamie was traveling. I'm a big Jamie fan. Okay, the Naked Chef. Do you know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about? I like that guy. I actually have all of his cookbooks signed. Like he came to,
Really?
well, he came to New York one time when his new book at the time was Cook, the black one that just says Cook on it, like simple basic cooking techniques and recipes. And like I brought all my books because my nephew likes food. My brothers, like, they know I like food. So I would get the gifts. I have all the cookbooks, and I just brought them on a fluke, right? And I brought them into the bookstore he was signing, and they're not supposed to sign them all. But he said, if you carried all, he said, where are you from? It's Jersey. He said, you carried all those books like here from Jersey? He goes, yeah. He goes, he just looked at his agent and he said, shut up. And he signed every single one of them.
That's
And
cool.
no, it wasn't, because I almost got jacked on the way out. Like everybody was so mad standing in that line because they would only get one, and
Well,
they were like, you know.
you're like, you should have worked for it, everyone.
I said the right words. I said what he wanted to hear. Like, and it was true. His cookbook, like, I had followed all his recipes before and everything like that. And I would say, this was the book. And he goes, oh, you have all the others. I said, yeah, but this one reminded me of why I like to cook. The simple joy of just putting a few things together. And it has all the simple techniques. And it's probably one of the best ones yet. He was like, she gets it. She fucking gets it. He signed every book. And I'm like, yes, ha, ha, yes. But I barely made it out of that bookstore. People were pissed. I mean, old ladies were swinging, like getting ready to swing purses at me, Juju. It was violent. It was
Yeah,
bad.
people get riled up. You're like, well,
It was Manhattan, New York, at Barnes and Noble. Man, it was not good. It was not good. But then, the other nice part is I got to sit one table away from his wife, Jules. And what a lovely woman she was. Like, really. We sat there and had coffee and didn't talk. Just looked at each other and nodded a lot.
Oh,
It
that's
was
pleasant.
it was very pleasant. I think she appreciated that I didn't go over there and like I knew who she was, but I didn't like bother her or anything.
Yeah, you weren't
She
harassing her.
I'm sure she already got the text from Jamie about the fucking crazy woman from Jersey with all the books because here I was, like, I'm sitting there with all the books in a bag, like 2 bags of books, like, sitting next to me, you know, right? Yeah, and drinking my coffee. But I am glad I did it. Like, I usually don't do anything like that. I'm not like the, go get the autograph or like, I am a big fan of people, you know that. I like to promote what I like, and I sing it from the mountaintops if something tickles my fancy or I really enjoy it. But I'm not one to like go for like autograph this or, collector that or, things. But for Jamie, I did, because he's always come off to me as a very down to earth kind of person.
Well, don't you think books are better? Because, like, if you just get an autograph on something, don't you like walk around and you're like, what do I do with this?
No, but
And
the
it just becomes
yeah.
something you like move around your house but never know
Mhm.
what to do with.
Yeah, what I figure, like, the autograph books, just like they're like I don't have a lot of books. Like, I'm a big book lover. My house used to be full of them to the point where I had to make end tables with them because there were so many books in the house. Like, next to the chairs would be stacks of books for you to put your coffee down because, like, why have furniture when you have 9 million books in the house? like I was like, that many. But then I got a little like ecology minded and I started donating all the books. And I only saved a few series. I have all of my Anne Rice's, and I mean every single one. And I have the Harry Potter's and the Witch in the Robe series that I saved for the boys to read. And I have a few antique books like Emerson and an actually old one of someone who took a tour of France in the 1800s, and it's like hand-drawn pictures and paper that's falling apart, and the book smells, Juju, like really bad. Like, I have to keep it in plastic, like keep it away, like, and as soon as you open it, like, or even look at it, you can just smell it. It smells like somebody's attic. Like, it's bad. And then I have the cookbooks. That's it. Like, and I saved all of his cookbooks, and I have like a few others, like Greens and the old-fashioned one, The Joy of Cooking, one of the first really big cookbooks that came out that everybody had here in America.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
Mm-hmm. And I've got like Greens is a vegetarian cookbook. It's a famous vegetarian spa. They put out some of their recipes, trying to make vegetarian food into like a cuisine of its own, where you're not trying to hide things or anything. You're just like making food the best you can. They're the only ones I have left. I got rid of everything else. But I'm hoping that, when I'm gone, somebody will enjoy those cookbooks from Jamie Oliver,
They will. Most books, when you pass away, they just get thrown out.
That's a shame. Like, I have it done that they have to donate them. If they don't keep them for themselves, please take them to a library or to a hospital, in one of the waiting areas, or even to mostly to retirement homes, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers. Now they need reading material, or even a prison.
Yeah,
Prisons have libraries, and um, there's just I love the feel of a book. Still,
I do too.
I do a lot of my reading online and with my Kindle, but the feel of a book, like, I will still get books from the library. One of the best, my Mac card is not the best used card in my wallet. My library card is. Like, I'm a total nerd, a total nerd.
Me too. My library card, I carry it with me every day.
It's in
Like,
spot number one. And did you ever read those surveys, like a Cosmo survey? It says like the position of things in your wallet tells a lot about you. And I'm like, and I don't really believe that. But then I looked at my wallet and went, oh, that's interesting.
I'm like, I bet it does. Well, I don't have a wallet. I just like put a hair tie around my cards. But my
Okay.
debit card's on the top and then my library card's on the bottom. So I
And
don't
you
have to
just put
take
it
it
with your
out. I could
phone.
just
You clip it on the back of your phone and you're gone, right? Like that. Yeah.
no, I
That's
just
how.
put it in my pocket.
Okay, that's like modern living now. I do have a wallet. I hate carrying a purse. I do have a wallet. If I have to go out, it's like a clutch wallet, And if I told you what it looked like, you would go, Claire, I'm so ashamed of you. I'm just so ashamed of you. But it's you open it up. The first card is the library card. And then there is actually the license, but the license is upside down, so I don't have to look at the picture.
Yes.
Okay, because driver's
My
license
license is like
pictures.
2 cards back because I'm like, no
Yes.
need to stare at this
All
every
right.
day.
And then there's like my insurance card and stuff because apparently, I have appointments and things like that. And then there's my Mac card and then whatever other cards. Like I've got like, you get those cards for restaurants, like buy this, buy that. Well, my coffee place gives me a card. My daughter works at
Mhm.
Starbucks, so I got one of those, stuff like that. But I'm just like, and then the ones that I could really do damage with, like the credit cards, they are not even in the card holder place. They are all stuck. You know how when you put in some wallets, you used to be able to put a checkbook in there, which I don't remember. I don't recommend bringing your checkbook with you out anymore. It's really hard to, take care of that. So, well, there used to be a spot like, and underneath behind it, there was this flap, and that's where all my credit cards are because I want them harder to get to. Like I put them all away, like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, I don't even use my credit cards.
No, yeah, I don't very much anymore myself, unless I'm going to pay something off. But it's nice to know that I could take some time to pay something if a good sale comes up or you want to do something. But
Well, and I do, yeah. I mean, I use them sometimes if I buy something big, but then I come home and pay it off. They hate me. They're like, "Duh." But I had to get new credit cards last year and I never activated them. So I went to use my card not too long ago and it was denied.
I know you like if you don't follow the rules, they think it's lost in the mail. Like if you don't activate it, they close it. Yeah.
Well, they sent me a message and they were like, "Hey, dum dum, we declined that purchase because your card isn't activated. So why don't you
Mm-hmm.
activate it and try again?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, all right."
Oh, Mark had put a comment in there about pancakes that we missed. Have you ever heard of Danish ones? They sound like they sound like the vegetable ones. They had heaps of ingredients surrounded by a batter. You could turn anything like
Um,
I think I know what he's
is
talking about.
that
I
a
think I've seen that.
Dutch
A Dutch.
baby?
Well, like a Dutch baby is that apple. I know what you're talking about. That is a very thick pancake that comes up. That's where the cake part of pancake. That's where
No.
okay,
Well,
here
it's not real . You make it
no
in like a
in a cast iron skillet.
mhm.
Okay. Well, this brings me to something that's been blowing my mind for like the last few days. It especially yesterday, it came up again and it was kind of contentious. But one word can mean so many different things and the same thing at the same time. The word pancake, right? You and I think like a stack of pancakes, right? American pancakes, a thing like that. But the
Mhm.
word pancake, right, probably goes all the way back to making cakes in pans. Like cornbread is a pancake.
Oh yeah.
The Dutch baby you just talked about, okay, which is a pancake like batter, a little lighter and fluffier, surrounded by apple filling type top stuff, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be out. It can be anything. You can
It
make
could,
it
yeah, you can make a blueberry one. Okay, a cloche, like a blueberry cloche, okay, is actually a pancake. It's like a cake that you're making in a big frying pan type thing. Yes, you see what I mean? Like, and it just blows my mind. Like, because we could be talking about the same thing and something totally different at the same time.
I know, I love that.
It's fine when it's a pleasant conversation like this, but if you're trying to make a point, it can be very contentious. Like I actually got into a conversation that didn't mean to get as big as it was, and it was all over the definition of one word. And it's like wow, like, and I'm just like I hate the English language sometimes, and I love it at the same time. I mean, everybody knows I'm a wordophile. I love that stuff, but
Did you ever read the book Horse Feathers?
no.
It was I don't know, we had it when I was little, but it was a book that told you the origin of a lot of words.
Yeah.
Like the
I
one I really remember is cobweb.
Where's that from? Do you remember?
From a cop spider, a COP spider. And they would say, "Oh, there's cops webs everywhere." And it just became cobweb.
Huh. That's simple and like so strange, right?
Yeah. It was a great book because I mean, you could just pick it up like if you had 2 minutes and read like the origin of one word.
Wow. Hmm. I do love looking up the original words. I mean, I am a nerd. I took Latin. So I do actually understand the origin of a lot of words right away. Based especially like because of medical stuff like that I used to code and train, people to use like medical terminology. So Latin became, just something. It was very boring and I don't remember a lot of it, but you do remember some of the root words and things start to make sense. But I love looking that up to find out where the origin, what country it originated in, and like what they meant by it, and then to see how it changes, how words change, like the use of words. It could mean something back in the 1800s, and it means something totally different now.
Yeah.
You Um, yeah. Well, yeah, I do love that. I love that about language. I don't like disagreements over definitions, though. That was, yeah. Like I still get a stomach ache when I think about it, but.
I'm like, speaking of definitions, do you have a reference bookshelf in your house? Because I still have one.
I used to. I used to, but like when I got rid of all the books, I mean, I had all the books from school, training, like everything. When I tell you I had a lot of books, I had a lot of books. I had books that I had to up at the ceiling. I built the shelf into some of the rooms. The books went all the way around the room on the shelf.
How did you dust that?
With a very long pole. And it was very compact, like they went long ways and sideways, like upright and sideways, and they were next to each other. So there wasn't a lot of spaces. So for the cobwebbies and all, you know how you have the big wand duster? You
Yeah.
could do that. And then also the vacuum cleaner has the very long pole, and you just get up there and yep. The same way you would dust crown molding. Like, do you have any crown molding? That has to be dusted too, like the same way.
I do have crown molding in one room.
With the same way that you dust that, like you dust it with a really long pole, or you use the vacuum cleaner.
I just got a vacuum cleaner. I did not just get those. I got it a couple years ago. But the pole on it is so long that I can vacuum the ceiling while sitting on my couch.
I think that's amazing. I think every vacuum should be like that.
Yes.
I like that. I hate to vacuum, but if I could sit on my couch and vacuum, I think I would like it better.
Well, I hate to vacuum too. I'm like, I loathe it. But I'll tell you what, you get that out, you're vacuuming everything. You get into it. Because you're like, I can reach this, I can reach there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is
Yeah.
satisfying.
Mark, dusting is a necessity in an older home. Like the dust comes out of everything. We don't know how, we don't know why, but usually modern facilities don't have it like we do they JuJu. They don't really have to do that
And I
often.
have old plaster walls. So,
That's what and I love my old plastic. They're very thick, right?
mhm.
It's just like when I had the bathroom redone, it took them forever to take those walls down. They were like marveling at the craftsmanship and everything of the tiling and the walls and everything. And I'm like, I hate to take them down. Now I have thin walls in the bathroom because they just don't do them like that anymore. Well, the bathroom doesn't get dusty. There you go. Every other part of the house does, but the bathroom does not get dusty. But yeah,
Actually, I was in the bathroom the other day. I have a window in my shower. And I was in there, and there's a cobweb in that window, which I'm like, I'm not going to address this because I'm in the shower.
you got a stalker spider who's like watching you shower. It's like, yeah, well, whatever.
Yep.
If he's getting his thrills, whatever. He's not hurting anything.
I closed the window on him, so maybe he's sad now. He's like, no, just stuck in between the screen and the window.
Oh gosh, like this, like what's he gonna do? Like he can't go into either world, the outside or the inside.
I know.
You just banished this. I thought you were a creature lover. You just banished that spider to purgatory.
I bet he can get out through that screen.
I'm sure he could. I'll bet you he could get back into the bathroom if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
I guess it
He's
depends
probably in
on
the same room with me right now.
it depends on the level of a spite that a spider has. Let's think about this. Like, do you think he's like just move on, it is what it is kind of spider, or do you think he's like a spiteful little like, aha, you think you're going to keep me out of the bathroom, spider?
I think he's just a real casual guy.
Yeah, he's probably, it is what it is. She shut the door, I'll move on.
Yeah,
I'm
he's like,
good.
she didn't mean to do that. Also, winter is approaching. It's getting chilly.
Yeah, I
I
better
should
find,
move.
I should move. Yeah, and especially if he knows how you treated the raccoon. Like he's like, oh, she shut the door. I'm out. Like I'm
I'm
gone.
just slamming the doors and windows on all the creatures.
I just get such a kick at it. Like, hey,
Hey, you know what? Speaking of raccoons, guess what I
yeah,
found in my backyard?
a turtle.
No. That was a quality guess, though.
Okay, what'd the raccoon do?
It's garbage, but there is a Bic razor
Wait,
and
he.
a pooper scooper from like a cat's litter box in my backyard.
Wait, he's bringing you. Wait a minute. That's quite insulting that he brought you a razor and a pooper scooper. Like, if that's not a message, I don't know what is.
They're like, could you clean up our mess in this yard? It's filthy
Hey,
out here.
Okay, raccoon, if you're watching, I need to talk to you. Like, wait a minute. A razor and a pooper scooper.
Yeah. Because I can see it from like, it's like kind of far back. And I'm like, what is that yellow thing back there? So I walked out.
So,
And it's like a disposable Bic razor.
all right. So basically, okay, he's into leaving messages now. I mean, wow.
I was gonna take a picture for you and be like, what message are they
No,
sending now?
I'm still waiting for the picture of the cheese. Like, damn. Like, I mean, that was something. Well, like, what do you think that means? This is like, hey, you, hey, you hippie chick. Like, here's your big razor. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's winter, but could you take care of that?
Yeah,
And,
they're like, tidy up, please.
and oh, by the way, here's the pooper scooper, because that's some crap.
Well, I was like, what are you doing with the razor?
Like, shutting that door on me. That was some crap there. Like,
It felt threatening. like they're going through garbage cans and they're like,
yeah. Oh, JuJu would like this. A big razor. Like, I know someone who could use
Next
this.
time he comes up to the door, he's just holding the razor.
Oh my god. It's like
He just slices the screen.
oh my god. Yeah, he could like get, oh yeah. Just think of it. Oh wow.
I don't know what he's doing with the pooper scooper.
I don't think you want to find out, actually.
No.
Well, no. Oh
I'll take
my.
a picture. They are close to each other in the backyard. I'm like, what is happening back here?
Yeah. Oh my. This is too. Hey Sal.
Oh, they were trying to shave the feral cats. Hey, Sal.
Every time she said, Sal, sorry, Sal. It's just the way it goes. Every time I stumble in here, y'all are talking bathroom talk. You weirdos. We are weirdos. We definitely are. But yeah, well, you missed the whole thing. We were talking about food for quite a while. Like, I don't know how we went. Like, food always eventually leads to the bathroom. This is the natural progression of life. Like, we're on track. We're on track. This is the way it goes.
The bathroom leads to animals,
Uh-huh.
and animals lead to the raccoons.
Oh gosh, those things. People are trying to convince me that raccoons are cute.
I think they are cute.
I
They
think,
little juvenile raccoons, adorable.
I think nature has appropriately colored them and makes them look the way they should. They're trying to convince you they're cute when they're nothing but little animal thieves. They're wearing a mask. Okay. And they're
Yeah.
trying to get away with stuff. They're all
No.
wily. And I've been in a Twitter thing back and forth for like 2 years now with the otters against the raccoons. Like, the raccoons are just not very nice.
Yeah, the raccoons are punks.
They're punks. They're trash pandas. They call them trash pandas for a reason.
Yeah, and they're bringing your trash to my yard, everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. They're gearing up. That's what I think. First the Parmesan cheese. Now we're on to a razor and a pooper scooper.
Oh, hi, Mark Couch. How you doing? Yes. Yes. I'm renaming everyone Mark just so I could say that, Rocket Couch, just so you know where that's coming from. Oh, hi, Sal. I mean, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Sal. Yep. Because I'm obsessed with the sound of Tommy Wiseau's voice saying that. Like, I can't get rid of it. Hello, Jacob. Oh, hi, Mark. Jacob.
Oh, I just saw. Hi, Jacob.
You know what? Anybody who comes in and says, "Can I ask you something like that?" Like, okay, I'm holding my breath, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, when I started on YouTube, I was a little brown jay too.
Were you?
Yeah. Is war brewing between the raccoons and the otters?
I don't know. No, it's been going on back and forth on Twitter for a while. Like there's a bunch of otter accounts that I follow that are really cute. And there's always like their friends who are what are bouncy houses? What are bouncy houses? Well, it's a map in Golf with Friends that I like to go to. It's also like a blow up uh it's like a blow up little room that you can bounce around in that you can have in your backyard for kids. They also make really big ones at fairs that have slides and all on them. Right.
How do they clean them?
I don't know. Do they clean them? That's always been my question.
Power wash them.
Yeah. What are bouncy houses? Okay. Claire, have you seen the otter babies I've been reposting on Instagram? Yes, I have, Sal. And they're like adorable. Yes, I have. Otter babies are very, very cute. What I did recently see a picture of birds in a nest that had otter faces. Like it was the most bizarre thing. They looked like them. Would I jump in a bounce house with you? Hmm, probably not on the first date. And they don't know who you are. Hmm. Hmm.
um,
I mean, are you afraid to jump in the bounce house by yourself? I mean, I don't see what the issue is here. There's usually an affair or something, and there's all these people, and they usually only give you a certain amount of time, and they make you take your shoes off. Don't you have to go in there in socks, Juju? Like you
I
have to,
think so.
yeah.
I don't know. A bounce house isn't my scene.
Really, fish? That's like not something I needed to know. Really?
Yeah.
And no, because all the ones I know have children in them, and they're all over the fair and everything like that, you know. But
They're in well populated areas.
yeah. Mm, mm.
Oh, it's a good
Rocket?
fair state.
Yeah, if you already have chemistry with the person. No, I don't play third party. The question is there. She can read it there. Jacob, here. Here's a question for you, Juju. Yeah,
I saw it, but I'm ignoring because he didn't have the
yeah.
balls to ask himself.
Yeah. You know what, Jacob? I sorry, dude. Well, you know.
Sal, bounce houses are scary because they have tiny people in them, and people suck.
People do suck. You know what, Sal? Thank you. Like people in general suck. In like, there's nothing wrong with bounce houses, but like rocket couches, right? It would make like a nice first date. Going to a fair is a nice first date because it lets you be free and do childish things and laugh and giggle and explore the lighter side of your personalities and everything like that. Like I get that. You can have fun. You can like, what do they have? They have the squirt guns that you fill the clown's mouth and his head blows up, like and stuff like that. And they've got you can show off with the hammer to see how strong you are, to see if you can ring the bell. That never really worked well for me, Juju.
True.
I have brothers that they have taught me things like how to use like leverage so that your strength is like stronger than your strength. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Yep,
It's
I
science,
do.
okay? So I'm 5 foot, look like nothing, and I can wail that hammer like bing, there goes the bell, there goes the date. It's a wonder I don't get the second call, huh? Yeah, but anyway.
What?
I mean, but it could
A strong man would be attracted to that.
he would be maybe. I don't know. Mm, but I don't know.
Or mildly frightened.
Plus, fairs are not good for me because I'm a very competitive person, and it's not good to be a competitive person on a date. Period. Like, nope. Yep. Like but But bouncy houses, because you're in there in your socks and everything, and you can't control how you're falling all over the place. But you're usually not in there alone with the person. Like there's a whole bunch of people, so you're bouncing off everybody, falling down. Like
Yeah, it's like the trampoline places.
exactly.
And
It's
then I'm like, there's too many people around,
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, not exactly. Well, you know what? Yeah,
yeah. All right.
yeah.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
so the raccoons are gearing up. We've established that.
Yeah. They ain't the only thing. It's like goblins. So, like it's post Halloween.
That reminds me.
You know
It
what?
doesn't feel like the holidays though. Does it to you?
Um, I'm not big. Like I said, I'm really not that big on holidays. So, mm,
Well, how do you feel about Christmas music?
I love Christmas music. I buy a Christmas album every year, and I used to love when I decorated and everything. All right, here's the thing. I last year I wouldn't even really um didn't even really want to decorate. So like I went to a funk like about the whole thing. But prior to that, starting around now, I would start playing Christmas music, and I bought a new album every year, and I have a huge box. I mean, I have a trunk that has two sliding like trays in it, Juju, for storage, and both of them are full of Christmas CDs. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's so many.
and they're like, oh, and I'm that nerd that like puts them in alphabetical order so I can find them.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, you would love me. Not many people do about that, but anyway. But it used to put me in the mood for decorating and doing all the baking because I used to entertain, and have like all these people around, and I would have to start cooking the month before, and the baking and the freezing and preparing. Like there's ways that you can make cookies that you roll them into balls and freeze the balls, and then you can take them out, let them defrost, and just bake them in mass
Yeah.
quantity. Yeah, I'm one of those. Like I would have to. I learn all these things through my catering friend. All these little tricks and stuff that you can do that work really well. What you can freeze, what you can't. Like, did you know if you make mass quantities of meatballs and you freeze them in just a little bit of salt, they are 10 times as tender
Yep.
because the acid in the tomato sauce works on breaking down the proteins, and they're just, you have to time it right. You can only freeze them for so long because you don't want them to turn to mush. And then when you heat them things up, they are the most tender, delicious. Like that's the secret of my meatballs. I just told all of you too. My family's gonna know now. Damn, I'm busted. Because I give them the recipe, but I always leave that part out. And they wonder why theirs are never as tender as mine.
I love that. That's
Because
like mildly cruel though.
a little bit, but I don't have to tell them I froze them ahead of time. Like, they could freeze them too. It also works with sausage and peppers. Divine. Absolutely divine. Um, but because like that's one of the main things we would serve around Christmas was the meatballs. The guys like the meatball sandwiches, sausage and peppers.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about having meatballs this week.
Oh, here's the question.
Hmm.
Do you do the one meat meatball, or are you a three meat meatball, or a two meat meatball? What are you? Everybody's in a category.
It depends on who I am cooking for.
Ah, you see, my recipe, my go-to recipe is the three meat recipe. But the one that I make, that's like if I'm in, like you said, you're making it for your partner, entertaining. You want to make a nice meatball dinner. If I'm just like making meatloaf or meatballs, I take meatball mix, which has like the three meats in it. It's got pork, it's got veal, it's got good ground beef, right? And then I
Hmm.
mix it with regular ground beef. Like I cut it, and then I do that. But it always is the three meat. Because I do love putting a little sausage in my meatballs and in my meat.
I do like that too,
Mhm.
but that isn't for everyone.
Right. And sometimes it's just ground pork and I have to add the seasoning myself, which I prefer to do because everybody makes their sausage different with different seasonings. Okay. And sometimes I don't want my meatballs to taste like sausage seasoning. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, or
too
sage.
much.
Man,
Or
when you get the
yeah,
heavy sage sausage.
I do love heavy sage sausage, but not in my meatballs. Right. So
Yes.
so I will get the ground pork and add my own seasonings, so that it does not make it too sausagey.
Do you know the butcher shop I go to puts their pile of sausage into the shape of a little pig? And
I
it makes
love
me
that.
laugh every time.
I love that extra effort. Like I would go there. Like first of all, I love that you have a butcher. Like I have a butcher too.
Mhm.
It's a dying art. There aren't that many places around that do that. And when you go in there and you look at what they bring in and all, it's not as expensive as you think it is.
The butcher shop is less expensive than the store, and it's
It
better meat.
it is because you get exactly what you want. You're not paying for the extra packaging and all of that other, right? And
Yep.
so and the quality. Oh
The
my God, the
quality
quality
is unparalleled.
is unparable. Exactly. When I want ground meat, it can be exactly what I want ground. Like
Well,
not
did
what
I
they
went into
decided.
my butcher shop one time and I'm like, it smells great in here. What are you guys cooking? And then they go, dog treats. And I was like, well, they smell phenomenal. I
Mm,
would consume them.
hmm.
But they'll make you corned beef and cabbage. They'll make that for you. At like St. Patrick's Day, you can just call up there and ask them to cook it for you.
The corned beef? Really?
Yep.
Wow. Mm, I love that. I do love that. I love that I can order a half a cow from them and they like I do go there more often than not. I do get most of the meat there instead of at the
I get my cheese there too because it's real cheese.
we had a cheese store and that was an exquisite place, like cheese from all around the world, but it wasn't very popular. And it went out, but now the cheese store that we have does sell some cheese, but it's mostly a cafe and serves every kind of grilled cheese sandwich and soup you could possibly think of. And they make more money
Ooh,
as a cafe than they do as a cheese store. Like
yeah.
they will make cheese platters and all for you. So I have been trying to keep them in business when I was entertaining by ordering my cheese platters from them because I really wanted them to stay around because I loved going into Red Bank and getting a really fancy grilled cheese sandwich in a soup. The soup was always delicious, and I could get any kind of grilled cheese I wanted, and they made some phenomenal
Well,
combinations.
Mousy and I keep talking about this. We're like, let's make this the winter of soup and just make like soup, salad, and sandwiches all winter.
I tell you what, actually have a dream that when I retired, I wanted to just have one of those mobile small kitchen things, like a cart in the mobile home, and I'm going to travel the world and I'm just going to serve every kind of grilled cheese you could think of in soup everywhere I go for lunch and dinner. I'm going to make a fortune. I'm going to live off the money.
You
I'm
would
going
make
to,
a fortune.
and I'm just going to travel all of the United States. But then I remember I hate this country and I don't want to see the rest of it anymore.
I know.
I was like, that used to be my dream as I was like working hard and like, what are you going to do when you retire? It was always my fantasy. And then I woke up and was like, no, people suck. This country's driving me crazy. I ain't giving them my damn grilled cheese sandwiches in my soup anymore. Nope. Gonna go somewhere else. I wonder if you could do that in any other country. If they
I'm
have
sure you could.
we have food carts all over the place in here in America, like everywhere. Like, you know, there's a dirty water dog stand everywhere you go. You know, the hot dogs in boiled water.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. In There's food carts in New York. You could just like walk half a block. There's like 5 food carts like everywhere. You don't have to
Yeah,
go.
but those are all filthy.
Some of them are really good. Some of them are pretty filthy. You got to know your food carts. Like in California, food carts are really food trucks. Here in Jersey at the racetrack, we have a food truck like fair every year. and they have food truck contests for the barbecue or this, that, or the other thing. Because a food truck is really just for one specialty kind of item usually. I don't like the ones that do everything, like all the fried foods, like burgers and all that. I'm like, you can go to a burger joint for that. Like, it's really going to be kind of icky if you get it from a food truck. But if you get a food truck that does a specialty item, like we have a lobster food truck that just makes lobster rolls, that's it.
We have a grilled cheese one.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. Do they make brie and pear with fig jam?
I have no idea.
They
It's been a
better not.
while since I've eaten at it. Because they used to, where I live, like down the street from my house, they would have Food Truck Tuesday or something. And they would bring in a whole bunch of food trucks in our little town square.
Yeah, I love that. And we have that too. Almost every festival brings in all the food trucks. Like we have an Italian fest and, Mediterranean, all kinds of festivals, street fairs. In food trucks are very, very popular. Anna, buffalo, she just said that her butcher cuts buffalo just the way she likes it. I do love buffalo burgers. Like I've only had it ground, and I've had a buffalo stew once. It was delicious. Well, I haven't made it myself yet.
I'm interested in the stuffed cabbage soup that Mousy made. That sounds fantastic.
That is actually, it's got rice, right? Mousy, it's like the filling of you right? It's like the filling and shredded cabbage, but it's thinner. It is like a tomatoey base, but not thick like tomato soup, but broth.
Oh,
And it's got the
yeah.
rice and the ground beef and all of the spices. Yeah, it's delicious. I would like to try that, Mousy. You know, this Jersey peeing recipes and everything. Like we've got lots of recipes like that. Hungarian, plenty of European recipes, English food, Polish food, lots of Polish food, Irish food. And I will admit, the Irish food is not as like boiled dinner is not my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because when we do Irish corned beef, like right, we do the corned beef. We do not boil. Okay, like we serve it on the side, and I roast or saute that cabbage like English or American. I do not make boiled potato, carrot, and boiled corned beef and cabbage dinner. I think it's a
My
crime.
granddad always boiled it.
I think it's a crime. Yeah. I want to try it too, Ricker. I want to try buffalo. You too, right? Like it is very I want to try it like making it myself. I have had it out. A buffalo burger I have had out. And
Yeah, I've had it out. I've never cooked it.
I was when I was on vacation at the Emerson in New York is like I'm at the base of Mount Trepnor, and it's a nice little resort. And they had a nice restaurant there, and they actually the special was a buffalo stew one night, and I tried it. It was fantastic. It was really good. It's not as you would think it would be very gamey, but it really was mild compared to that. It's a big old ugly buffalo.
Will
you
your
know?
butcher shop order it for you? Because my butcher shop will get any meat I want.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure if I ask them, they will because they do have ground buffalo there, and they must grind it. And I'm sure like they order in custom turkeys, they order in everything.
Yeah, we have like the buffalo and things like that is in a freezer. They freeze
Mhm,
it once it
mhm.
arrives because they're like, it doesn't sell fast enough.
Right now, I
But
just yeah. Go
but
ahead.
if I ask for it, they'll call me right when it comes in, or
Yeah.
they'll get extra for me.
I right now what they're ordering in right now is the lamb, like because they only stock a little bit, but around the holidays and everybody who doesn't want turkey, like okay, this week there's not going to be turkey for dinner on Thanksgiving. If anybody like my daughter wants to come over, so it's going to be roast lamb, and you grandson is probably going to have to learn how to make it,
Yeah.
because you got to pass these things down. And any man who loves lamb needs to learn how to roast lamb himself because this is just from my personal experience. Not a lot of women like roast lambs and stuff like that, or know how to make it. Like at least here in America, like I was unique in that I would make lamb because all the men in our family love the lamb. Okay,
Yeah,
and
my family loves lamb.
yeah, and none of their wives will make it for them. They all cannot
I've
stand
had
it.
somebody say to me, like, I can't eat lamb because it has a cute face. I'm like, that's dumb. Lamb is delicious.
Well, baby cows are cute too,
Yeah.
and have you seen a little chick? They're cute too, and you eat eggs. But I do understand this. Like, I can't eat food that still has his head on it if he's looking at me. Like, if it looks like what it was, like, I can't do it. To the point of, if you put like, oh, okay, here, like, you guys are gonna make fun of me, but
Like
you
when
know
you go to the butcher and there's like a whole cow's head sitting there.
exactly, or the fish with the head on it. Don't let me see that eyeball, or the shrimp with the head on it, and I could see that like it could be looking at me. I don't want to know.
Or
I
like the
don't.
pig's feet and the pig ears at the grocery
No,
store.
it looks like what it was, to the point where, okay, you take a roast chicken, it looks kind of like a chicken, right? Okay. I need somebody, like, don't put the chicken leg on my plate. I'll eat the meat if you take it off the bone, but don't put the chicken leg on my plate
Really?
or the chicken wing. I can't. Mm-mm.
Well, the chicken wing is not enough meat. It's too much work.
I think a chicken wing is a waste of, like, that's for stock, people. That is for like
Exactly.
stock. People who are like, I can't believe it's so popular here in America to eat chicken wings. People go out of their way to fry them and put buffalo sauce on them, and they take hours to eat, like dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and they're still hungry.
Yeah.
You've been suckered, people. Like, you've been suckered.
Yeah,
You
that's all the garbage, like
exactly.
leftover chicken that people are purchasing.
You could fry thighs and put that buffalo sauce on it. You'd be in heaven, and you'd probably feel like you ate a meal when you were done. Like, I'm just saying, like, please, I'm not making you chicken wings. I don't care how much you like them. I am not doing that. But it is weird that, like, a lot of people here in America, like, they don't make the lamb, but I like to make lamb.
Yeah, well, my good friend and I make lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we do, we always call the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're like, get over here.
No, you need,
She
like,
makes
lamb.
a lamb chili that is unstoppable.
You see, now I like to use lamb and other things like that. I like lamb burgers, number one. I do. I
Yes, she makes the
absolutely,
best lamb
a
burgers.
lamb burger with blue cheese is like, oh my God.
I put
Because,
feta on mine.
well, feta too, because it's a strong cheese. That would be good too. But like, you take a really strong cheese with a really strong meat, right? And it's just like,
Mhm.
just go for it. It's so good. But I also like to make lamb tacos. I like a marinated lamb in cubes that is kind of like an Indian dish, and you serve it with rada and naan and all of these, I even like to do lamb tandoori, which is usually done with chicken, but you can do it with lamb. That's where you soak it in the yogurt and the hot sauce and all the spices,
Mhm.
and then you grill it really quick. Oh, I mean, I like lamb, but I like lamb well done. Like, I don't, I'm not into, like, lamb chops are okay, like those mini little gorgeous little pink things. They're okay.
Lollipops. That's what we call them.
Yeah, lollipops are cool.
Lamb pops.
Yeah, but
Because they're like little lamb pops.
they're like fancy food you get out. Like, I don't really see like making that at home for anybody, but
No.
I will get it out, and I think it's great that they can make it like that. And I wouldn't turn it away if some man was padding around the kitchen making me a couple of lamb chops. I would not complain at all. But still,
Nor would I.
yeah. But you might as well throw a big old leg in the oven, like, when we eat for a few days. Give us more free time.
Teresa, I'm ducking to avoid all the things you might throw at me.
I'm not going to throw anything at you. I think lamb is a personal taste. I can understand it is very strong. I understand why some people don't like it. I do. It is a strong meat.
I think if you grow up with it,
Yeah.
you're more
Yeah.
likely to like it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, Wrecker, all of the lamb at the butcher shop is from New Zealand right now. I did call. Yep. He said, I would have to special order you in lamb if you don't want it from New Zealand. That's what he said. I said, no. I said, that's what I figured. Because that's a very big product there. Almost all of it in the grocery stores is from New Zealand too.
What are lamb fries? Also, I'm in the Midwest too.
Okay. Can you tell us what those are? Are they going to be kind of like, what what they call bull oysters or something. Like, what are lamb fries?
I know that's what I was thinking. I'm
I'm a
like,
little scared. Does it have anything to do with an intestine or something like that? Or like, I don't know. I mean, please tell us.
it depends on the store, Anna. Some,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, our
It used to be
supermarket.
harder to find.
But now it's more popular and smaller sizes too. You used to only be able to get like a big leg of lamb. Now you can get like a smaller, like cut up one, and you can even get lamb burgers in some of the supermarkets I go to, and you can get ground lamb.
Yeah, you can get ground lamb at like
Do,
Walmart. It's
do you
not the
like
best lamb you've ever had, but what I recommend is find a butcher shop. I mean, I just recommend that anyway. Find a
so
butcher shop in your area.
so Anna, lamb fries are like mountain oysters? Like so it's the lamb.
Only on
Okay.
lambs.
Why do they call it a fry? I guess because there's
Because they don't want to call it what it is. None of us would eat it.
okay. Well, I'm not eating it anyway. There you go. But thank you for clarifying that for me. And I figured it was something like that. And they do say if you could get past what they are, that mountain oysters, and I would imagine lamb fries too, are quite a unique, delicate flavor in taste. It's kind of like people that serve brains, sweetbreads and things like that. I'm just not into organ meats at all. Uh,
Really?
yeah, because I got turned off young with kidneys and liver and stuff like that. I
Okay, but if you make liver wrong, it is gross, but also it's amazing.
you know what? If you made it, I would try it. But the way it was made for me, which is usually just fried with onions and you got to drown it in ketchup, it's disgusting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I've eaten too much ketchup in my life to deal with that anymore. Like I was a bad kid. Like, yeah. I
Because calling them sheep testicles did poorly in focus
Yes,
groups.
yes. And the word testicle is very misspelt a lot. Like that's easy to misspell. Like, have you ever noticed? Like, never mind. I mean, that's just a quirk of mine. I noticed that the word testicle gets misspelled a lot. Not that she did, but I'm just saying, like, it just tripped a memory for me. The only way to prepare them is to fry them. The lamb fries, Mark. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah,
I'm like, just don't. For me, a lot of times, I'm like, just don't tell me what I'm consuming. Like, let me eat it
mhm,
and enjoy it.
exactly. But I mean, there are lots. Like I've had snails done the French way with garlic and butter and white wine. And,
I don't know if I've had that.
and one
I
of my
doubt it.
favorite things to eat is scungil, which is the Italian word for conch. Okay, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
done with garlic and tomatoes, and you spread it on a nice hot piece of bread when it's all done. And I made that is because of all the fun, food, the way you like food and express yourself with food, it's all linked to the fond memories you have around it. Like the reason I'm so like my mouth is salivating over the scungil right now isn't so much about the flavor because it's kind of fishy, it's a little bit rubbery, it's like not exactly everybody's kind of thing. It's really more about the tomatoes and the garlic and all with it. But it's the memory of my stepdad being up in the middle of the night making it for himself because he liked it, nobody else made it. And
Hmm.
sitting at that table can't you're a little kid and your feet can't even touch the floor and your feet are swinging in the air and you're just smelling these wonderful smells of tomato and garlic and onions and the herbs. And I didn't care that it was a conch, that it came out of a shell from the ocean or anything. I hated seafood at one time, but it was just all of that and him just whistling and talking and just being happy making this food for himself. Like, it's those memories that made it so delicious, I guess, and it's just bonded in my head with it. Like, I don't think I could go to anywhere and eat that and not think of that image and that memory, you know. But
Yeah.
mm, but I'm sure there's like, you remember cooking with people in the conversations you have in the phone, at my house, like you have a little bit of wine and you're all get together. We have pizza parties, whatever, and it was like lots and lots of good times and lots of good food. You know,
Maybe that's why I dislike Thanksgiving, because it was always like a terrible time with that turkey not cooking.
I'm just telling I don't like Thanksgiving because, well, if we're going to talk Thanksgiving, then you got to talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people are miserable around Thanksgiving because they are separated from their families. There's angst going on. Everybody has fights around the holidays. Everybody does. Families just implode. with the extra pressure of the holidays, especially here in America. And it would be remiss of us not to bring up that, food prices have gone up. People are wondering if they can even do a Thanksgiving dinner, like in their budget or whatever, and whether it's worth it. And there's all this extra pressure of day-to-day work. Then you throw in a bunch of relatives. Who do you invite? Who do you not invite? Who's talking to who? Who sits next to who? Who's the one that's going to host the dinner this year? And did you see what Mary said last week? And oh my God, Amy has done this. And
that was not my experience at all. But I don't have a family,
and
like
then
there
and
were.
then that's the other coin of it. When you don't have a lot of people and you see all of these celebrations on TV and the way they advertise it, like that's the way it's got to be. And it doesn't have to be. That is mass marketing advertised. That's societal pressure. That's them all telling you how it should be, and it doesn't. When you look at what the tradition of Thanksgiving actually is, it's got nothing to do with family fights in making
It's
a
about
turkey.
community.
It's about community, but it's also about we made a deal and then we took it back. Like it's also about failed promises and angst. Like there's so much connotation that comes with Thanksgiving. Like I don't even know why we as Americans sit at that table and celebrate it, cranberry sauce or not. And man, do I love some cranberry sauce. Like I think I told you this before. I make my own cranberry sauce and I eat it all year round. I use it like jam and jelly. Like I make it with Marco like this. I put a cinnamon stick in it, Mark. I actually store it in the jar with the cinnamon stick in it. And as it ages, it only usually lasts about 5 weeks in the fridge because I eat that much of it with cream cheese and things, It actually gets more and more cinnamon through it. It gets stronger. Like,
I'm interested in this chicken liver pate that Mark makes.
oh, chicken liver pate.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi. Now, wait, the oh hi Mark has suddenly changed. It's no longer Tommy Wiseau. It's like Jessica Rabbit just said hi to Mark.
I hear you make a good chicken liver pate.
It's like no longer Tommy Wiseau. It's Jessica Rabbit. Mark, look at that. You got Jessica Rabbit asking you for recipes. There you go. you know that character I'm talking about, right? She leans up against the wall and she's just like sliding down, going, oh, hi, Mark. Got some liver pate.
Well, not a lot of people make that.
No, they don't. It's actually, I've heard that a very good recipe like is really chicken livers wrapped in bacon and roasted in a honey glaze. Okay, you had me at honey glaze.
Interesting.
Wow. In Kansas City, an older town place, you can get La Manga. Okay, wait a minute. Charlie, La Manga. Is that the conch? Is that scungio? You got to explain. I need to know what La Manga is because whenever you say the words like old Italian place, like does that pique your interest, JuJu?
A little bit, yeah.
I start smelling garlic and like getting happy. Lasagna with lamb, lady. Come on now. Okay. All right. Listen, Charlie, you haven't been around that much. My language skills are failing. You got to keep me up on my game. I would love that. And I think, oh, wow.
That never occurred to me. And now I'm absolutely making that.
I do make, well, there's moussaka, right? The Greek lasagna is moussaka, people. Okay. Have you had moussaka?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's delicious, right? Like, so can you imagine? Let's just up it Italian. Let's add both the white and the red. Let's add the bechamel, the cheesy bechamel, and a red tomato sauce in the lamb. Oh, I think, oh my God, I've got a recipe in mind now. I'm going to create. I don't think we're here. Yeah, I'm going to create. That's good.
I'm like, make it.
I'm going to make it.
Overnight it to me.
Overnight? Nope. Listen. I'm worth it. People that want to eat my food, y'all gotta get ready to travel. Like that's it.
All right, write the recipe down, and I'll make a version. You make a version.
I think it. Yep. It doesn't.
We'll get together and discuss it.
Now, most people would say, "Don't you dare put that bechamel near the lasagna, near the lamb." But I'm like, nope. I can.
Why not? That's delicious.
To take that strong, well spiced and flavored lamb and then put and wrap it in the creaminess of a bechamel, like, my mouth is watering. Like we're gonna create. But the next time you talk to us, we're gonna share a printed recipe. I want you all to try this. Like seriously, I can't cook for you all.
Everyone, let's go home. Let's focus. Let's make something new this week.
You know what I love, Juju, is that we can't cook for all of these people, but damn well, do we have people dripping and salivating in that chat or what? Like, I'm happy. I'm so happy that they're
Well, I
talking
invited
about
myself to
food.
Anna's house one day. I was
I
just
think
watching what she posted in Discord. I was like, I
yes,
am
I
available
know that
anytime you
people.
need someone to come over.
I know. It's just like, and I love talk. I love when the men talk food and tell me about what they cook and what they like. I love it. Okay, because like when I was growing up, my brothers had to deal with the stigmatism that like if they cooked or whatever, they were called names. Let's just be honest. Like they were looked at side eyed, but they loved it and they should love it. My nephew is a phenomenal cook, a phenomenal cook. Actually, so much that when it came to that grilled cheese business, like I would have funded him to start that cart and go around the world and do it on his own. He would have been fantastic. He loves food too. I love to talk to him about food. Juju, a cute little story. You know how you like when things are cute and look like what they are, or people put extra effort into food?
Yeah.
So my nephew, when his daughter started to go to school for the first time and she had to bring her own lunch, he
Yeah.
made her these little pigs in a blanket, like the pie crust with the cheese and the ham, and he shaped them all like laying down little piggies.
Oh, stop it.
And he baked them the day before, and they were like little hand pies. It was like a hand pie, and you held it like a little piggy, and it had the little piggy head. That girl is gonna have that memory for the rest of her life that her father did that. But you know how kids are. They're like, Dad, what'd you do to the freaking hand pie?
I
But
know.
I'm thinking when you get to be my age, little one, you're gonna love that your father did that for you. The fact that he did that for her first like packed lunch, I was over the moon. I
Do
was
you
just
know I was a grown adult, and every time my mom made a pie, she had like a little mini pie pan.
mhm.
It wasn't like a full mini one. It was a little bit bigger than that. But she would make a little mini pie for me and bring it, and like sometimes I would like to ask her how she got keys to my car, but she had them. And like sometimes I'd like walk out of my car from work and she'd have left a little pie on the seat of my car,
Oh,
or
see,
she would like leave it on my front porch or something. And I mean, I was a grown adult and I would still get that tiny pie and be so excited.
you know what? I used to like getting little notes in my lunch, you know, and but my lunch was like a big. I was a bit of a brat, Juju. I think you know that. I think I told you this before.
Yeah.
My favorite sandwich. Okay, I'm gonna do a tell. I'm not like this anymore, but well, no, I can't say that either because you'll see right through. My favorite sandwich when I was a kid, like, was, and even if I didn't take it to school or whatever, it was a cream cheese on bread, okay, with
Mhm.
sliced olives that had pimentos, okay,
Okay.
but every little circle of olive had to have a little bit of red in it. And the and you couldn't have any crust. I think I thought I was doing like an English tea party or something, and I was like the queen. I don't know, but I was a very finicky kid. It didn't have any crust, and you had to cut it in triangles. It had to have like little tea sandwiches. I liked cream cheese and olive. I liked cucumber. Like, yeah, I was weird. I don't. I was from another planet. My mother said. Everybody else in the family ate peanut butter and jelly or ham and cheese. Not Claire. Claire had cream cheese and olives. A pickle sandwich or cucumber and lemon was one of my favorites. Like, I don't know what
Did you
planet.
ever eat Braunschweiger?
What is that?
I don't know. Delicious. Like it's
What
some
is
sort
it?
of
What
what
is it
is
made? What is it made
I'm
of?
gonna look.
All right, Shill, I'm going to read. Shill said, I was doing nothing for about 3 hours. I was napping. I was tired. I feel better after that. Nothing nap. I think nothing is the best thing in the world. And I'm happy you got a nap. And thank you so much. I'm going to put that towards the computer. Thank you so much.
It's a sausage.
So like bratwurst. Like I know we talk about sausages a
No, it's
lot.
not like bratwurst. It's more like it's a pork liver sausage. That's why I like it.
Oh, it's made with pork liver. So it's a liver sausage.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
liver
good.
sausage. Okay. I'm not into liver, so I don't know. But I'm not saying I wouldn't.
I bet you'd like it.
Okay, wait. Fish Nerd wants to know my feelings on venison. Veal? Oh, you mean deer? I make some really good deer. Deer is popular around here. We have a lot of them. We have an open deer season. I know that sounds odd being on the Jersey Shore, but Jersey is a big state, and we've got a lot of forest deer. And actually, right down the road from me, there are tons of deer running around all
Yeah,
the
I was
time.
gonna say that doesn't sound odd. Deer are
I have
everywhere.
deer in my backyard, like, but deer itself, when done properly, is delicious. I've got some deer cubes in marinated cherry recipes. I love grilled venison is delicious. Actually, the best way I ever had it was on a couple of sticks in a fireplace after it was marinated in onions in red wine for a day. Um,
That sounds
and
amazing.
and we put it on these fire pokers, and just like, because it was after a hurricane and we had no power. So it was like a mitzvah, like a small blessing, these happy accidents that you have. We
Yeah.
put it on skewers, okay, and cooked it in the fireplace, and it was delicious. It was some of the best venison I ever had. Venison, it's all in the preparation, and it's not even how you cook it, it's how the meat gets prepared. If venison is not drained properly or stored properly, it could be god awful, strong, disgusting, and just ugh. But when done properly, butchered correctly, and just like any strong meat, it can be very, very good. Venison stew is delicious. It's a stronger meat as far as I know. If you're used to only beef, it's a bit stronger, but I think it's delicious.
Yeah, I used to have a roommate and her dad would buy us a deer every year.
Hmm.
It was fantastic.
Charlie, I've never had deer jerky, but I would love to try it because I am a woman who loves her jerky.
The deer sausage is good too, like the
I've
smoked
had
sausage.
I've had smoked deer sausage. It was too mild for me. I like sausage that has like a lot of extra to it, because when I think of sausage, it's ground meat with enhancements. Like, you're supposed to make it about the other stuff,
Yeah.
like the sage, the spices, the whatever. And unfortunately, the brand that I had was just meaty,
Oh, that is unfortunate.
because that's not sausage to me. That's just like,
No,
okay, that's not sausage.
that's like someone who tuckered out and was like, I don't feel like doing this
Like,
anymore.
yeah, really, I just want to store the sausage in. I want to store the meat in this casing, so I'm going to call it a sausage because I really didn't do anything to it.
Yep.
Like, I would have liked to have some chili with it, or some garlic, or give me some like.
Deer is so good in chili.
That's what Charlie said. Deer chili and jerky.
Mm-hmm.
I have never had deer jerky. I need venison jerky now. I do. Do you like jerky? I actually like jerky. I know it with all the sodium, it's probably not the best thing in the world for me, but I just love different flavored I've had ostrich jerky. I had alligator jerky.
Mm-hmm.
I've had, like, there's when I went on vacation in the mountains, we had a jerky store. I thought it was the best thing ever. Like,
Yeah, jerky's okay. Like, I'm never going to purchase jerky for myself, but if you have some and offer me a piece, I will consume it.
I bought it as souvenirs for everybody that year when I found the jerky store. And I'll tell you what, my nephew loved it. Like, he wanted me every year to send him some jerky from that store. And finally, I just gave him the thing. I said, you can call them direct and order your own jerky. Like,
Order it yourself.
yeah. Like, here's where it is. You could order it all year round. You don't have to wait until I go away. you know, because we had ostrich and deer and like all kinds of we had alligator jerky. Like, I'm trying to think of everything. There were so many. Mm.
Jerky is
Uh,
expensive.
it is so easy to make, and you know what, Charlie? It is worth the investment for a dehydrator, because if you get a dehydrator, you have already expanded your pantry to all the specialty items and all the in-season items that you can't get all year round, and you have just cut your budget by thousands a year. Like, just think about it. When apricots go into season, and you just want one or two fresh apricots, but it's cheaper to buy like the pint, you can halve them and dehydrate them and use them in muffins for the rest of the year or
Oh yeah.
anything. Like just like that. And also dog treats. I got to tell you, take a sweet potato, slice it, put it in a dehydrator. Give that to your dog instead of pig ears. They love it. They go freaking nuts. It doesn't have the sodium. It's not an animal product. It's better for them. They love it. They absolutely love it. They
I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a dog.
But I do all of this with the dehydrator except for make jerky. Charlie, will you come make jerky with me? Like I need somebody to cut the stuff thing. Like my hands shake too much. I think that's what it is. I don't have a deli slicer. You know, you gotta
Get
slice
your
the meat.
butcher shop up. They'll slice it up for you.
You know what? You're a genius. Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. I
Okay.
always have them slice stuff.
Because like I want it really, really thin. You know, I want the jerky to be
Yep.
I-
Like that's the beauty of the butcher shop.
Oh, you know, that's the thing, Mark. If you
Into
don't
the
cook all
vacuum.
the time, like I know this dilemma. Mark says he thought about getting a dehydrator and then he thought about all the things he put away that he doesn't use. And I did that. Like I would like, you know, jar stuff and can stuff when it was in season. You know, until I learned that with tomato sauce, you don't have to actually jar it. You can freeze it. You know that, right, Juju? Like you can,
Yes, I just learned
yeah.
that recently.
Yeah, and you can make big batches of stuff, and I use like freezer bags, and I lay it all flat, and I didn't end up using things more often, like and save things like that. But I did have to get a separate freezer because I also freeze like all the peelings and everything from organic vegetables and
To
stuff
make the
after the
broths.
to make broths. I save the ends of onions and everything to color stuff. You know how it makes that dark, rich color to your broth because you
Hmm.
use the onion skins. Yes, you do. Um, y- I just save all that kind of stuff separate and use it up. This is when I was cooking a lot. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you I ain't doing that this year, and I didn't do it last year either. Like the last 2 years, like I have not really cooked at all. In talking with you all, I have really learned how much I miss it. But the thing with food with me is I'm always making it for someone. It's part of my love language with how I express myself to my friends, my family, my partner. And I've been alone. And so I guess I just don't love myself enough to make me a big old pot of chili.
Cooking for cooking for yourself. I don't know why it's difficult. Like I can get into it for a while, but then you're like, ugh.
I don't even know how to take my recipe. I mean, I know how. It's math. It's possible that I
Right.
could take my chili recipe and make it down to just me. I'd be eating chili for a month if I made my chili recipe. Like, and who wants to do that? Like, I don't.
Well, then you freeze it.
But that lamb lasagna thing, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna make that because I think I could get like the neighbors to try it. I know my daughter would come over and eat it. I might even get the kids to try it on the weekend. Mm.
I have like two different sets of friends that we like make each other do that. We're like, hey, you've got to eat this. I made this much of it,
Hmm.
or
And,
try what I just made.
mm, and you know, and I don't put up like my pantry has stuff like I've got to go through it regularly and throw out the stuff that expired that I didn't end up using. It is so wasteful. I hate it. And then there's the other part. I have all those gadgets, Mark, like of the ice cream maker that hasn't been touched in God knows how long. Like the garage cabinets are full of specialty items for the kitchen that I don't use or keep out anymore. Like I have a KitchenAid and I have a food processor and I have a Ninja Bullet and they're like my primary things.
So I don't have any of the because I just don't.
And then I have a drawer full of implements. Like, do you have a mandala? Like, it's a double-edged on a half circle angle with two handles, wooden for chopping things. Like you rock it back and forth.
Oh yeah, I do
Yeah,
have that.
yeah. I have that hanging. Like I have one of those boards that everything hangs on, like next to my refrigerator. I've got the magnets and these things can hang there. That's where my knives are. And I've got like a butcher block to chop on. Like, and and then I've got
My knives need sharpened so bad.
when I redid the kitchen, I hung a grid. I have a very tiny kitchen in a lot of pots and pans. So I hung like from floor to ceiling one of those metal wire grids with the hooks that
Hmm.
everything hangs on it. Everything hangs there. All of the pot, the wok, everything.
See, I've never had a bread machine, and we always made homemade bread, but we just made it in the oven.
Yeah, I make bread, but I don't use a bread machine. Somebody gave me a bread machine once, and I did try it. It is nice if you want to just put the stuff in there. You have bread in it, like, but it doesn't make the kinds of breads that I truly enjoy. Which my favorite breads are sourdoughs. I love the soft and the that soury taste of the product itself, and that crusty crust, rustic sourdough. You know
Mm-hmm.
and I like French bread and stuff like that.
I have
I
a no knead bread recipe I'm going to try.
How do you do no knead bread?
I watch this YouTuber do it all the time, and
Send
it
me a
looks
link.
delicious. I
Send
will, because she
because the best way to get somebody to eat is make that house smell like warm bread and butter. People
well,
will
and I
eat.
want to make roasted red pepper soup, make that bread,
Oh
make a
yeah,
grilled cheese with it.
yeah, just not in bread. Charlie, stop it.
Oh, pasta dough. I've never made my own pasta.
Mhm. Anna, I do freeze in servings, but like I cook in such quantity because my family was large that even the servings, it would be all I ate, like, before it went bad, you know? But
Man, my friend had 3
and I'm just too
boys
lazy.
as kids, and she makes so much food. And they don't live with her anymore. And I'm like, you need to calm down with your servings. Like, this is
Yeah.
out of control.
Mm. This was so nice. Now I'm hungry. I'm gonna have to end this and go eat now. Well, you know what?
I know I'm a little hungry too, and I ate right before we
I
started
I
streaming. I'm
know.
like,
I'm
maybe
gonna
you're
I think there's a stream after ours. I think if Mousy is still in here.
Marble rye on a root. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It's got to be Marble Ride. We could go on and on and on. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna have to continue this next week, everybody. Like, because now I gotta go eat.
That's
This is
all we ever talk about. We're just like, listen, food.
Hey, we talked about more than that. Like, I do remember there was a big razor and a pooper scooper,
And
um,
a spider in my bathroom.
and the spider in your bathroom, and me like talking about language and getting like all messed up over the different definitions and other things. I don't even know what we started it with, but it always ends up in such a nice, warm, cozy place. I love these conversations. I hope you all like them too, and I hope you'll join Juju and I back again. And we talk some more, something or nothing, maybe nothing.
Wait, just have one before we go. Look at what Mark said.
Which
Here's an
one?
idea that works. Make a Thai green chicken curry and use that as the filling for a pie. To die for.
Oh, that would be I love Thai green curry.
I know. And that like took my breath away. I'm like, that does sound amazing.
And make it as a pie. I
Yeah,
could do
do you
that.
bake like
I could do that. Make oh, you know what? That's like now you need to make me some hand pies with that, Mark. Like that's my lunch.
mm,
I need hand pie. I need Thai green chicken curry hand pie. Yes, yes, yes. I do. I do. I'm working on the recipe. I got to write it first, Anna, but I will. The link I dropped is for Mousy. I do believe she will be streaming in about a half hour. If you all want to continue the conversation over there, we bring it into fish and food. Just don't eat the fish and stuff over there. Okay,
she's
they're pets.
got bacon wrapped snails.
She does have a bacon wrapped snail. She does. And the blueberries. God, they're so adorable. Yeah, they are. You know. They go with the pancakes. Yes, they do, Mark. So, hey, listen, it sounds like Mark is dateable, everyone. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Makes
get on
great
that, ladies.
pancakes. It makes great pancakes, got fantastic ideas, loves to cook and talk food.
Chicken liver pate.
Oh my God, chicken liver pate, green Thai chicken curry, hand pie. I'm on it. Like this. Wow. Wow. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Well,
That's so fantastic.
oh, thank you for a lovely evening, Juju.
Yeah, that flew by.
It really did. It really did. I'm going to end it. Oh, you got anything else to say? You want to say?
I don't. I'm gonna go have my ice cream, maybe.
That's it. And I'm just going to hit the outro and we'll talk to you all. The only thing I do want to say is like drop the link to Mousie's and do all the YouTubey things. Like I hate saying that, but just go ahead and do it. Like
Yeah.
I kind of like being out here with you all. And if you like me out here, like let YouTube know. Like do the like, do the share,
Hey,
do the
someone left
whatever,
a
whatever.
comment on our stream. Shout out, Brad. Wink at you.
Oh
Left the
yeah?
nicest comment on our stream last week. And then I gave him a little wink because we talked about winking. And he winked back. And I'll tell you what, get a little wink in a comment. It makes your day.
It sure does. It really does. I do read every comment. You all know I do answer back. And also, if you have any questions or about anything, I am going to be doing true crime on Tuesday. I think I'm even doing one tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about. Tuesday will be the reschedule of all things Murdaugh. I mean, there's a lot
I
from
thought you were going
last
to say
week.
all things murder.
No, well, that too. That too. You know me. A little bit of drama, a little bit of murder. Go a long way. But anyway, we'll see you all during the week. Have a great one. And thanks, Juju. What a lovely evening.
It was lovely. Good night,
It was.
everyone.
Good night, all.